Lindsey, thank you. With the changing employment landscape, more Canadians than ever are engaging in gig work as their primary form of employment. Over the last 3 months, these numbers are pretty staggering. Over the last 3 months of 2022, 871,000 Canadians considered gig work as their main work, meaning you have no coworkers, no permanent place to go each day, and no regular schedule. So this includes Uber drivers, dog walkers, freelancers, etc. While this type of employment may be non-traditional, as far as the CRA is concerned, income is income. So joining us with his tax tips for gig workers as April approaches is our friend from H&R Block, tax expert Yannick Lemay. Yannick, great to see you.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, so let's talk tax tips. Those with an employer, we can just go to our employer to get our T4 to show our income with our tax filing. But for gig workers specifically, what do they need to report that income?
Correct. So when you're a gig worker or self-employed, these are two synonyms for tax purposes. You still file one single tax return on which you'll include all your sources of income. But like you mentioned, when you work for a company, you do receive a T4 slip at the end of the year that will show all the wages you've earned for the company, which is not the case when you're a gig worker. So you don't receive tax slips from all your sources of income. That means you need to proactively keep track of all your business income, business expenses as well. But not only keep track, but also keep those supporting documents in case a CRA asks for them after you file your return.
Yannick, what kind of business expenses could potentially be considered deductibles for gig workers?
Definitely a question we hear a lot. So first, you need to keep in mind that expenses must be reasonable and they must be incurred for the purpose of earning business income. So think of bank fees, the portion of your cell phone, insurance, office supplies, also accounting, tax preparation fees. And if you work from home, in most cases, you will need to work from home at least 50% of the time to be eligible to deduct any home expenses.
30,000. It's this number that stands out. If gig work is either your main source of income or it's just either become very lucrative on the side, that 30,000 number is the benchmark. So what happens if you earn more than that?
So there are three possible situations here that would apply to GST, HST. So the first situation, it's when it's mandatory for you to register for sales taxes. It could be optional, or you could be in a situation where the law already tells you when you need to register to GST, HST. It is mandatory, as you've mentioned, if you've earned at least $30,000 of business income. So we're excluding here any wages, any investment income, so really business income from all your businesses altogether in the past 12 months. So we're not referencing January 1st to December 31st, but really the past 12 months that you need to look at.
Yannick, oh, continue on.
That was just about to say, if you're a taxi operator or ride-sharing driver, so Uber driver, for example, you need to register the first day you start earning business income. So that's a really important exception.
Okay, an important date there. Another one, on January 31st, digital platforms like Airbnb and Etsy were required to report users' 2024 personal info. So this includes income. So what does that mean for people who are using those platforms to make money?
So based on our research, it's 28% of Canadians this year that are part of the gig economy. So it's no surprise that digital platforms are now required to report all the income you've earned with them directly to CRA. This will definitely help tax authorities to reconcile the income you've earned, but it shouldn't really change how you file your taxes. And I'll conclude on this. June 16 is the deadline to file your tax return if you or your spouse is a gig worker, but you shouldn't wait. So please do not wait at the last minute. Today, February 24, is the day CRA starts processing returns, so you can get your taxes done as early as of today.
Yeah, it's always helpful to get it done early. There's nothing worse than getting close to that deadline and then rushing to find everything. So you have time to prep now. Yannick, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So Yannick will be back on the show over the next month with so many more great tips for you on how to get the most out of your tax return. And he's going to answer some of your questions. So we'll put a QR code up on the screen right now. You're going to scan that and submit any tax-related questions that you have. We will be getting to your questions in 2 segments coming up at the end of March. If your question is chosen for the segment, we'll reach out to you and let you know when to tune in for the answer.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.